As you all know by now, I have been steadily trying to get media credentials for WNBA games, WNBA teams, so that I can ask real questions in post-game press conferences. And I'm genuine about that. I am building a website. The website is almost complete. In fact, it will probably be up by Monday of next week. And actual written material will be on that site that goes hand in hand with video content that I am producing. And from that, I want to, you know, provide real content beyond video. So that includes written content, written stories, etc. I'm doing it not just for the WNBA, but I'm doing it for combat sports, the NBA, football, baseball, you name it. I'm doing it for all sports. And part of that, and part of getting, potential articles that you can write, it generally requires, some type of quotes from athletes. And so yeah, I'm critical. I'm gonna be critical. Hey, if you don't like it, so freaking be it. But I am applying for credentials, and I have applied, like I mentioned, in my live in another video. I've applied to everyone except for Golden State, Washington, and Connecticut. And so today I got two responses from the Minnesota Lynx and the Dallas Wings. And what makes these responses so unbelievably comical is that they they're specific to games, and the response is very, very vague. And of course, I'm going to have to respond to their response because I would like to know why. I already know why in my own mind, but I need confirmation. And I wonder if they have the decency to provide actual confirmation of what my belief is. That said, let's talk about it. Welcome back, everyone, to another edition of Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way, Women's Basketball. We talk facts over feelings. I'm your host, Rudy Rodriguez Showmont. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. Leave a comment, let me know your thoughts. I mean, I pretty much know what people think of me, and I'm cool with that. And whether you like me, you like me, you hate me, you hate me, dislike it. Dude, I'm that type of guy. I kind of am in that Angel Reese, Caitlin Clark realm. You either like me or you don't. There's generally no indifference because, as Angel Reese knows, when people are indifferent, then you don't make money. When people like you make money. When people don't like you make money. When people are indifferent, nobody cares. That means you're not making any money. Same for Caitlin Clark. Although Caitlin Clark doesn't do it in another in the type of way that Angel Reese does it, she is either liked or disliked, and because of it, she's making bread either which way. The people who don't like her want to watch her play to watch her lose. The people that love her want to watch her play to see how amazing she is. Same goes for Angel Reese. And that's how it rolls. And I'm cool with that. And I get it. I get it. I do. So I applied to the Minnesota Timberwolves. And here is the response that I got from the T. I'm not the Timberwolves. I'm sorry, the Lynx, the Minnesota Lynx. I applied for the Minnesota Lynx, and here is the response that I got for the Minnesota Lynx. And I will share it with you right now. It's pretty wild, actually. I think, to be honest, I'm not shocked. I'm really not. I'm surprised at how fast they responded, though, which lets me know that they were never going to give me a credential to begin with. But this is from the Minnesota Lynx. Here is the response I got. Dear Rudy, thank you for your interest in covering the 2025 Minnesota Lynx. Unfortunately, we are unable to grant your organization's request for single game credentials at this time. All right, you see the dates, right? June 21st against the Sparks, July 16th versus Phoenix, July 25th versus Las Vegas, July 30th versus New York, August 16th versus New York, August 24th versus Indiana, and September 1st versus Dallas. That's one, two, three, four, five, six, 7 different games. You are welcome to submit credential requests for other games during the 2025 season. Should space be available, we will consider your request. Return to our media website and request for individual games. The deadline for single game credentials is at 5 p.m. the day prior to the game you are requesting. Please direct any additional questions to Olivia Serby. Thank you, Minnesota Lynx Communications. Now, I am absolutely going to email Olivia Serby, and I will let you know the results of this. This is the WNBA continuing to keep people who want to cover the WNBA and cover these teams out, for those of people that they cannot control. For those that they can control, they have no problem. They want the people that are going to shill and bend over and kiss the ring and ask the puppeteer questions. I'm actually a little bit I'm going to be real here. I'm a little bit disappointed in Minnesota because the Minnesota Lynx I am very complimentary of. The Minnesota Lynx have the best coach in the league. Cheryl Reeve has my ultimate respect as a coach. She's no nonsense. She doesn't play the bullshit. And I have great respect for her. Honestly, I do. I think she's an outstanding coach that gets the most out of her team because realistically, skill and talent wise, I don't think Minnesota's that talented. Outside of Nafisa Collier and Courtney Williams and Kayla McBride, they kind of remind me of the Indiana Fever last year, a three-headed monster and not much else. But they get the most out of everyone on that team. I don't find the rest of their players to be all that good. But with those three players and that coach, they kick this shit out of damn near everybody. And realistically, I know I picked Indiana to win the championship. If you were to ask me today, who would I pick to win the championship? It would be the Minnesota Lynx. Yeah, I made a flip on that because of how they're playing. Now, could that change again as the season goes on? Yeah. But right now, the Minnesota Lynx, to me, across the board, are the best team in the WNBA. Now, people could argue the New York Liberty. I would say this. The Indiana Fever had the New York Liberty beat in the first game. They gave that game away. And that was with John Quell Jones on the court. They gave that game away, the way I feel about it. But again, I am a bit disappointed because I like watching the Minnesota Lynx. I like the coach. I think she's a great coach. I do question some of the things that come out of Nafisa Collier's mouth, and the whole unrivaled thing to me in itself is a plan to, needless to say, I think compete with the WNBA. But yeah, that one disappointed me. I'm not going to bullshit you because I expected this. I expected of one team. I gave you 7 different games, and I don't get it. How are you telling people that on September 1st, August 24th, August 16th, July 30th, July 25th, July 16th, and June 21st? June 21st is this weekend. So none of these games you have space for? This is a team that plays in a building that has the upper deck closed. This is a team that plays in a building that has the upper deck closed. No one watches them play. Nobody. There's no one clamoring for Lynx credentials, but they're declining it for singular games, for every game on this list. That's rich. Okay, that's one. And here is the other. Here is the other. Dallas Wings, media credentials. Now, their media credential thing is more difficult because you have to literally do it one by one. So it's a bit of a pain in the ass. Thank you for your interest in covering the Dallas Wings. Unfortunately, we are unable to approve your credential request at this time. Thank you for understanding. I don't understand. You haven't explained it to me. Why are you unable to do so? See, at least when you get declined for a credit card, they tell you, look, your FICO score is too low. You have too many freaking bad debts. You have too much debt. You have too many new open accounts, whatever. They give you an explanation, and then you can go get your credit report and come back and try to dispute stuff or see if it's correct or what have you. There is no explanation. Why would I understand that you are unable to approve a credential request at this time? Why would I understand that? You got a 1-11 team right now. Your team is 1-11, right? Isn't it? It's 1-11, is it not? The game was denied was versus the Phoenix Mercury. Please direct any questions to Pam Flenke, Dallas Wings Vice President of Communications and Broadcasting. I will be giving her an email too, because I want like a real explanation. I want them to tell me the truth. It's just not, oh, you're July 3rd. That's literally in 3 weeks. Like, how are you declining something for the Phoenix Mercury? There's that much interest in a Dallas Wings home game versus the Phoenix Mercury? Come on. Well, would you look at this? I didn't even realize that they actually sent me responses for 3 games instead, not just one. I'm looking at it now. I'm like, oh, wait, there's more responses here. Let's take a look right here. Let's take a look. So let's remove this. Let's share this screen. And now let's show you the rest of them. I applied for 3 games, apparently. I didn't even realize that. I applied for so many, honestly. So here we got now. Boy, I tell you. Here we got. Thank you. This one is a denial for the Washington Mystics. Again, we have so many people clamoring to see the Washington Mystics. Same response. And oh, here is another one for the Indiana Fever. They don't want me to see, and that's on June 27th. That's in 11 days. I can actually believe that one will be pretty full. But again, you've made decisions so far in advance that it just doesn't seem plausible, in my opinion. So there you have it. Another example of they don't want media. There's no freedom of the press when it comes to the WNBA. The WNBA does not want coverage. And I got to wonder if this is now an edict from the WNBA itself or teams individually. I see that Outkick finally got something from from the Atlanta Dream. And I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that. I know I'm not on the level of Outkick. I know I don't have the following of Outkick, but I also have a desire to legitimately cover the league. Whereas I think Outkick does have their, ulterior motives. My motive is to ask real questions. That's what it is. I want to ask hard-nosed questions. I want people to answer questions in press conferences that people truly want the answers to, not this puppeteer shill crap that goes on in the WNBA. That's my motive. And then my motive beyond that is to actually interview players and do more expose level stories on players, share their stories. What I do on video with Combat Sports, I'm literally telling the story of a fighter, because people just think these guys are fighters. They're a bunch of savages and whatever. They don't know that most of these guys, a lot of these guys have been through a lot of shit in their lives, and they found something that they could pour themselves into. While most people think fighting is crazy, they found something that they can pour themselves into. And I want to tell those stories, and that's something that I enjoy doing. And so I'm also going to do that in writing for them. And then there's other fighters where you're like, wow, the champion of the world right now in BKFC in 175-pound division has never even been in a street fight. He's the pound for pound #1 fighter in the world in BKFC. He's never so much as been in a street fight. So everyone's story in that is different. And that's the same when it comes to this. Believe it or not, whether I'm critical of Paige Beckers or even Angel Reese, I would love to interview Angel Reese. Oh, I would love it. I would love the opportunity to let her tell her story, because you've never seen her story told. I've read, there's not a singular article that I've read about Angel Reese. Maybe I've missed them. ESPN hadn't done any. I can tell you that. I don't have access to the Louisiana newspapers, the Maryland newspapers. So you've not seen them nationally done. There has got to be a deeper thing with Angel Reese that we just don't know about. That maybe if you found out her actual story, you might change your opinion on her. And I'm actually willing to do that. But then you also might find out that maybe your opinion won't change at all. And that goes for any athlete. That goes for any. I have personally spoken to in the past 2.5 months, about 30 fighters, and done interviews with like 30 fighters, something like that. It's close to that now. If it's not 30, it's close to it. And I almost feel bad now watching a fight between two guys that I've talked to who have been so damn nice, giving of their time, that I'm not cheering for anybody. Like in the past, I would be cheering for fighters. Like there's fighters that I'm really cool with, that I want them to win. Yeah. And if there's two fighters that are fighting and I've talked to this guy, but I haven't talked to this guy, then yeah, I'm probably going to cheer for the guy that I talked to because he gave me his time. But like I talked to a fighter today, really, really nice guy, 45-minute interview, cool as shit. And if he fights another guy that I'm cool with, I'm going to be sitting there like, man, this sucks. Because at the end of the day, one of these guys is going to have their fucking heart broken and one guy's going to be fucking ecstatic. Same shit goes in sports. Same shit goes in team sports. It's a little bit different in individual sports because there's so much riding on it. But in team sports, it's the same thing. You find yourself, talking to people and saying, man, a person's that's a good person. And I don't see that being done in the WNBA at all. At all. I don't see any type of individual stories written about players, but I haven't seen one on many players. Heck, I've barely seen them any done. I've barely, we've seen stories done on more than anybody? Asia Wilson. And no one's ever asked her the question about why do you feel how you feel? I've never seen that written. Why do you feel this way? There's a reason. It's deeper. There's a deeper thing here than what you've heard in stories. So, or read, whether it was in Time or whatever. You've not heard the real reason. Maybe we never will. But that's my desire. And I'm going to keep pressing forward. I'm going to keep requesting them. And maybe one day they'll change their mind. But until then, at this point, you see what's going on. They don't want coverage. They want to keep it the way they want to keep it. But they're going to have ownership tell you, people who are owners of teams with family members saying nasty ass stuff about players and fans, but they won't let those same people cover. And the funny thing is that's the team that allowed Outkick to ask the question. So I tip my cap to them for that, but I'd love to get a credential to their team because I actually enjoy watching the Atlanta Dream play personally. But that's neither here nor there. Let me know y'all thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and ring the bell. This is Rudy's Rant, Her Game, Her Way, Women's Basketball. Come on now.